Hi, my name is Andy Scarborough and I'm here with CrownWorks. I am here because I really want to change the way that we're having conversations behind our chair, the way we're interacting with our guests, and overall the longevity of a hairdresser's career. So there's lots of rules in hairdressing about sanitation, but I think that there's a conversation that could be had about spiritual sanitation. And there are a few things that can help with that. So I'd love to share with you some of my favorite tools that I use to keep the salon super high vibe and the energy in my chair super tidy. Now, the first will be to talk about some crystals. And I get it, like you don't have to have a shrine on your station, but a few pieces kind of placed strategically throughout can really have a big impact on the space. The first one that I want to talk about is smoky quartz. And this piece is a beast. So this is a very dark piece of smoky quartz. It's awesome. It comes in all different kinds of colors, shapes, and sizes. They range in color from like a really almost dusty clear to this like dark chocolate little beauty that I just love. Smoky quartz is about the transmutation, right? The shifting over, the transforming, which is kind of fitting because it's what we do, of that negative or dense energy into light. So the stone itself absorbs, magnetizes it to it, all the heavy, dense vibes, and then transforms them and puts them back out as squeaky clean light. The second one that I want to discuss is amethyst, and this is another beast. This amethyst point is enormous and super powerful. These are pieces that I'm sharing with you from my home meditation area. The pieces that I have on the salon station are a little bit more, demure, low-key, depending on how you roll in your shop. Like, put the beast up there, say hey. Amethyst is great because it really increases intuitive abilities. It also helps to minimize addictive behaviors. It's interesting because I know, like myself and so many other hairdressers, we have terrible eating habits, and so this helps to reduce cravings of like junk food and that kind of thing. It's also really great for neutralizing some of the EMF, the technological frequency stuff that's happening, and we got all kinds of like blow dryers and cell phones and computers and stuff around the shop, so it helps to neutralize that as well. And the last piece, and I wish that I had a bigger one, but this is my favorite piece of rose quartz. And rose quartz is so sweet. It's just, if you've never worked with stones before, rose quartz is one you can't do wrong. It's about love, like it's a love stone, and more importantly, it's a self-love stone. It's associated with the heart. And I find that there's such a vulnerability when people sit down in the chair that immediately they start talking about all of the stuff they hate about themselves. And I'm like, here, why don't you like hold a piece of rose quartz for a minute? I'm gonna go get you some water. Rose quartz carries such a sweetness and a loving warmth that it's a really fitting piece to have in the hair salon. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is clearing the space, because sometimes like you got those clients that you want to like go home and take a bath after you see. And that's not always an option. So there are a few tools that have been used for a long time to clear negative energy. And the first that I want to talk about is sage. So just like wine, there are grades of things and qualities. But I do believe that the intention behind it is great. So if you pick your sage up at Urban Outfitters, great. You want to hike up to Ojai and pick it or grow it yourself, awesome, even better. But one little bundle of sage looks like this, right? Now you can burn it with the strings attached, or you can take it off and burn one leaf at a time, whatever you like. It will smoke a lot. That's the point. One of the reasons people started to use sage in the first place is that it has antimicrobial properties. So not all smoke and mirrors, it's actually like a real thing. It's also a really beautiful ceremony and practice just to end your day. Maybe before you start to pour that glass of wine, maybe while the wine is aerating on the counter, just go into a room where you have a nice moment to yourself, open a window so you don't set off the smoke alarms, and also so that you can direct the bad vibes or energetic garbage to leave through the open window and doesn't wind up banging around in your house. And then just really simple, start it. You just need a little bit, just a little smoke will do. You don't need to like engulf the whole thing. And then start at your head, work your way down, all the way down to your feet. And then if you're a stylist, be sure you get your hands as well, because again, this is where we've been touching those clients all day long. And then simply ask that anything that is not for your greatest and highest good be removed from your body, from your energetic body, leave through the window, go back into the nothingness from whence it came, and that everything be returned back to you and to the earth in light. An alternative to the sage is Palo Santo. It comes in little sticks like this. It smells amazing. The oil from it is actually what burns, and you can get it in pure essential oil form as well. And this smudges just like sage, slightly less smoky. It's also slightly less sagey. This is what I burn in the salon. If either of those isn't an option, maybe you're afraid it's gonna look weird in the shop. Maybe your clients are gonna freak out and think somebody's hair is burning. All valid concerns. One of my favorite things to use is a Palo Santo oil spray, and this is awesome. So as a client leaves, I do two things. First, in my goodbye, I make a point to wave and then move my hand through that chest and solar plexus area just to kind of like clear out and cut those cords, right? And I'll say to myself, we're closing that session, right? Like I'm done working with that person. I call back all of my energy. I send them in light, but making that a conscious thought is really important. And then the next thing that I do is just take a little bit of a Palo Santo spray, one little spritz over the chair, wipe down the chair. You got to be wiping down your chair anyway. So wipe down your chair, and then it's a whole fresh experience, and you'll be amazed at how clear you feel and how much more quickly you're able to sink down and connect into that next client. It's a really fresh connection for both you and your next client. Washing your hands is not only state board rules and regulations, but it's also a really great way to just do a final reset between clients. So cool water on your wrist will kind of lower your heart rate if you've had a particularly challenging client before. And water is a universal solvent, right? In so many practices, we do ritual baths or showers or things like that, baptism. And so really think about that. And again, it's really about the conscious intention of it, right? As I'm washing my hands between clients, I'm asking that any kind of energetic residue from the previous client be removed, and that I have the ability to start fresh with clean, empowered, charged hands for my next guest. So thanks for joining me at CrownWorks. Till next time, crown on. Follow CrownWorks on Instagram at crown_works.